Hello, Lance97 here. I made a plugin for the MOD makers for HS2 Studio, and I write this script in this morning with the help of Google AI, and this little thing created this window in the Unity. And how you when you select the tools HS2 SKyBox Maker, it gonna shows this window, and you have to put this small thing, small script into an editor folder and drag it into anywhere of your Unity project, and then it will show these tools, HS2 SKyBox Maker, and it shows this window. Now let me demonstrate how to use this. It's very easy, only one sentence of instruction. Import images to Unity, then select them. So let's do exactly what it says. Let's find a folder that contains images such as this one. It contains one image. Right now it's listed as a cube type, but actually when the new image you import it into Unity, it's gonna show it as a 2D texture image. Let's just drag this image to here and see what happened now. And there's a box called output name. Let's try. Let's give it a name like Skyfire 2 maybe. And there's output folder called D, and we don't change anything. Just we click build button and see what happens. It says it generates 2 sky cube material and a small version image for reflection next to the input image. This is a Hanmen told me that the way and the naming format how his graphic plugin is working is to make the 2 materials. One is called skybox.bg and one is called the skybox. And this one is linked to a smaller size for reflections, because somehow the reflections has to be smaller size somehow. Now let's check the folder. It's at D drive. Now here, Skyfire2 PNG and Skyfire2.cube. And this is the 2 files we newly generated by pressing this button. And in about less than 20 seconds, we got this Cubemap file. Now we can put these 2 things into the folder of HS2 Studio, the Cubemap folder. Now you know where it is. Let me I can show you where that it is. This is in the root folder of HS2 game, and the Cubemap folder. This folder is for the Hanmen specifically for the Hanmen's graphic plugin, right there. Let's skip that part and let's jump to the next function, which is the batch render function. You know that in the online resource, there are so many guys sharing the HDR map, or at the online shop you need to buy. They always pack their images into like 20 image in a pack, or 30 or 50 in a pack. So what if you want to batch process this process? You want to put 50 images in a folder and click this button and make those into the HS2 Studio can detect, can understand format. That is what this plugin do. Okay, so here is a button. So sorry. Before that, there is a button name saying same name. Now it's saying off. Now if I click it, it turns green and says same name is on, which means and there the name import is being grayed out, which means it's gonna use the exactly same image name of this, like space nebula red thing. That red thing, use that name to name the icon and the .cube file. Okay, now if let's turn off this button, and if I click this button, all image in one folder, and it goes into batch mode. It gonna let you select the folder at with many images. I have prepared a folder like this. Let's see what will happen. Notice that if your input folder, if your input area is open, and if you switch to batch mode, and this input area gonna force to gray out, because in batch mode we can't input each names. And let me select that folder. Now this input area you can hand type words, hand type the path. It's gonna real time detecting whether your typing is a valid path. For example, if I type D drive, now it's still a valid path. Why not? Why? Because this D drive is not in this D drive is not in the Unity project, and it don't contain textures. If I pick a random folder, for example, like the D folder, this is the existing folder. If I click choose, it still can't detect it. Because why? Because this is not in the Unity project folder. Now see the instruction: import images to Unity, then select them. That's what it means. You have to import the images into the Unity folder and let Unity see the folder like this. Then you choose the folder. For example, if I show the folder path, if I paste it here, I paste it here, now it's green mark, and it detects there are 5 images in that folder. Right here, correct is 5, right? And I can select another folder, like this folder. Now it detects there are 2 images in that folder, and it's also valid. Okay, let's go back to that folder. 5 images. Okay, now this right at the output path, you can type words here, right? It's real-time detecting your typing. If this output text is not a valid path, it's gonna have a red mark and an invalid export folder, so it can't work, right? And if now I put it the D drive, it gonna goes okay. Full of instructions and remind and the instructions. And if I choose a folder called let's go directly into the HS2 Cubemap folder, so I don't have to copy and cast. I can skip this function. Let's go to the Cubemap folder directly. Right, in this Cubemap folder, and let's create a new one. Let's name it space. Okay, I choose this folder and okay, click. Now in real time it detects this folder, and before I hit the batch build folder, let me put it. A very important thing is the images imported into the Unity. It has the imported resolution shows here, and for this image, if I look at it, it's 4K to 4K multiplied 2K, but there it shows 2K multiplied 1K, because this default number is set to 2K. If I want to import it like 4K, I have to import it again and say the number. Now it has changed to 4K and 2K, and this one keeps 2K because this one is remains 2K maximum important number. For comparison, I have made one image, the smaller version. This smaller version is 2900 plus 1400 image, and this size is smaller, and this original one is 16K and plus 8K image. Now for comparison we import this too, but that large pixel is actually wasted on my monitor, because my monitor is a 2K monitor, only 2500 pixels. But maybe you can see the difference in the end. Let's just check it out. We select this folder and select the output folder and hit batch build. Now he's creating the materials and creating the smaller version of each image and gets the thumbnail. He can do it in a batch way. While the exporting build access bundle process, it can show this stop or cancel button here. When you cancel a thing, you can still get what you already got. The Cubemaps and the symbols. I did this last year. I asked Hanmen about how to make those Cubemaps. I love to make a custom Cubemap for the background pixels. I think that's a very romantic background. And Hanmen showed me a Unity package with the workflow of how he naming those materials and files. Now it's finished. But that time he showed me two scripts, but I had difficulty working with script. At that time, I don't know how to use AI to write scripts, and I'm not a script coder. So I had difficulty using those two scripts, and I didn't success. And later I found my own way to export the Cubemap files, which is to use this modding tool in the Unity to export them by the prefabs. Now let me start the HS2 Studio Neo for you. Now at that time I can only do this by creating those folders one by one and link the images one by one to them. It's very hard time spending. Each one I have to spend about 5 to 10 minutes to make each Cubemap. And last night I want to make dozens of Cubemaps, but this really stuck me. So I made this plugin with Google AI. It can batch render all the Cubemaps. You can just take your camera out and shoot wherever there is a scenery, sky, like a sun, beach, sun, sky, mountains, or after rainbow, something like this. Now we check if the folder exists. Okay, space. Look at length 97 space, and this and the file number means this folder is created right here. Let's see it. Now this folder has files, 5 files, exactly what we created, and this one has 2 versions. One is smaller, just a 3 MB, and another is bigger, about 14 MB. Let's see what's the difference of them to the two. This one is names 1K is more smaller one. Look at the pixels. The pixels are really rough and blurred. For long scenes. For closer look. But if you drag your camera away, it's okay. If I put a character in it, like this scene, maybe. If I put a character in it, that's okay. the anti-aliasing is working, is okay. Let's change. I change the music. Okay. Let's see the pixels. This 1K version. That's because the blurred pixel is because the setup here I've talked to you. It's because the original image is the original image is this. It's this 1K, right? This 1K image has been shrinked to the 3K to 1K size. So that's why its pixels are all blurred, because its size is not big enough in the for the view of for our view to be a sky cube map, right? But if we change to this one, see, this one is also the new created. It's much better. It's much better. Even we can drag. We can use the camera to like the focal length. See the focal length. Even the focal length to we're gonna make a lot of cubes, right? We're gonna make a lot of cubes. Even Optimus Prime will not find all spark in the cubes we made. We're gonna make a lot of cubes, right? Goodbye.